vlog. If you're new here, my name is Amy. I have been going through infertility now for almost 5 years. I have done 2 rounds of IVF, so 2 retrievals, and I just did my 4th transfer. If you're returning, thank you for your support. Thanks for being here. You guys mean the world to me. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. So I did get my transfer last week, so I got it on Wednesday, so I am 4 days post a 5-day transfer. So what that means is 4 days ago I had a transfer of a 5-day-old embryo. So that is when they want to transfer them after they're 5 days old, so that is good. I feel really good. I've been feeling very positive this cycle, so that's good. I have to say today is the first day that I have felt a little negative, but basically that's how the 2-week wait works. 1 minute you're certain it must have worked, you must be pregnant, and then literally within the next breath you're certain it did not work. So that's basically what you do for the whole 2 weeks while you wait to find out if it works. So that's not new, that's how I expected to feel. I'm just kind of trying to take it day by day. The 2-week wait is really long. I'm carrying on with my medication. I'm still taking 3 estrogen pills in the morning and 3 estrogen pills at night. I'm still taking my baby aspirin, and then I'm taking 2 vitamins, prenatal and omega-3 vitamin. So I'm taking those, and I'm also still doing my progesterone and oil shot. So my big needle that goes in my bottom, I have to keep continuing to do that. So I have been doing that. I've recorded all those, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. And there we go. That's kind of where we're at today. I know it might seem repetitive or less interesting to see all of my needles, but the reason I do that is because there's people on here that are watching this channel, or people that are following me on Instagram, that don't really know how IVF works. They don't really know the process, and I just want to highlight, I remember before I started IVF, I thought it was like a 2-week thing where you just like go, you do a couple needles, you get the eggs, and then you put them in. I did not realize that it was something that went for months and months and months. I did not realize that it involved hundreds of needles. So I just like to highlight like exactly how much is involved in IVF, because it's a really long process, and it's a very difficult process, and there is a lot of needles involved. And so I just want to be able to be true to that and let people that don't know the journey, or maybe people that are new to the journey and thinking about getting IVF, it is a lot. That's not to discourage anyone from doing it, but it's a lot more than definitely what I thought when I got into it. So I would have liked to bring you guys along for the transfer. I did bring my phone. I took a couple pictures. We didn't end up getting a video. We're technically not allowed to videotape in the procedure rooms, and I know I have before. So my very first transfer I did videotape, so if you really wanted to see the process, you could go and look at that. But this time we didn't video it. We were planning to, however, we had a different doctor. So the way that my clinic works is that there's 3 main doctors there, and they have scheduled days that they work and scheduled times that they worked. And so depending on when your transfer winds up being, it depends on which doctor you get. So you don't always necessarily get your doctor for your transfer, which I know to a lot of people probably sounds kind of crazy, but honestly over time you get to know all of these doctors pretty well. So I've actually only had my doctor that works on my case, I guess. I've basically only had her for 1 retrieval thus far. So I've had my other retrieval was done by a different one, and my 3 other transfers were done by that same one. So I know it sounds like a different way to do it, but that's just the way my clinic does it. They meet on a regular basis, and they talk, go through files and talk about all the patients so that they are well prepared to see all the patients. So it doesn't really bother me. However, this time I did have the 3rd doctor who I had actually never met before, and both him and I were shocked that we hadn't met, because I've been going there for so long, and it's just like the amount that you're there, you think you would have met them all, but it's just the days that I've had procedures and transfers were not days that he was working. So I had a new doctor that I hadn't met yet before, and I really didn't feel comfortable like getting out my camera, even though there's a huge sign that says do not record and start recording. Most of them are okay with it as long as you kind of cut the sound out and don't put their faces in and stuff. But I just didn't want to, where I just met him, I didn't feel comfortable doing that, so I didn't end up videotaping it. I have videotaped a transfer before. My very first transfer, Corey videotaped it, so if you want to see how it works, you can go and watch that. But it's pretty anticlimactic. You do all these things, months and months and months of preparation, and then you go in there, you get your legs up, they have a catheter, they get the embryologist loads the embryo into the catheter, and they basically slide it in, and then they release it and take it out. It takes about 4 minutes. It's really uneventful. It's quick, it's easy. It has never been complicated for me. I know for some people it is a little bit more complicated, but for myself it's never been complicated. So it's not terribly exciting to see anyways, but basically you just see on the ultrasound a little catheter go in, and then you see when the catheter leaves, there's like a little teeny tiny white speck, and that's the embryo, and you just kind of see it in there, and then you go pee and you go about your way. So that's where we're at. My doctor doesn't have any specific instructions for the 2-week wait or post-transfer. They basically all just say go about your normal life. You can go to work, you can walk your dog, you can do whatever. They say nothing too strenuous, but I think she told me they only say that so that if it doesn't work, you're not feeling guilty because you did something. Like, I don't think it really matters what you do. I know a lot of people do bed rest and a lot of different things, but my clinic says it's good to just resume your regular life. It's good to get some movement because then you get your blood flow going. So that is where we're at. My 2-week wait is a full 2-week wait. So it's a whole 14 days. So I don't go in to get my blood work drawn to find out if I'm pregnant or not until 14 days after my transfer. So it is a little bit longer than some clinics. I'm not sure why. That's just kind of what they decided to do at that clinic. So I have a full 14 days to wait. I'm only on day 4 and I'm already like losing my mind. So we will see how these next 10 days goes. But fingers crossed, I'm feeling good. I haven't had any symptoms, but I don't really symptom spot. You're on a bunch of estrogen, you're on a bunch of progesterone, so like you already have symptoms from that. Your breasts are sore, you're a little bit nauseous, you're tired, which is kind of technically the same symptoms as like early pregnancy symptoms. I've had those kind of all of my transfers, but I haven't had any cramps this time, which I did have during my other transfers. But anyway, so that's where we're at, guys. I will keep you guys up to date. If you want to stay in the day-to-day loop, feel free to follow my Instagram. I'll put the handle down here, and if you've made it all the way through this video, good job. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.